Welcome to Daily Joy, where every movie is a story waiting to be relived. Today's movie name is 3 Days of a Blind Girl and been made in 1993. I highly recommend you to watch the full movie as it is an awesome film and it has many more interesting parts that I couldn't include in my video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and like. Also, a comment would be much appreciated. Be aware that this video contains spoilers, so proceed with caution. Following an eye operation, Mrs. Ng finds out that she will be temporarily blind and that it will take 3 days for her eyes to heal completely. Luckily, she is married to Jack Ng, a successful surgeon, so they can hire a maid. Despite being in charge of all household duties, May finds time to flirt with her friend the police officer, who has tickets to a well-known singer's concert. May agrees to accompany him, but only if he first does her a favor. In order to avoid conflict with her boss, she needs him to take Jack's photo roll to be developed because she forgot to do it. Mrs. Ng's first day of blindness goes well, and they enjoy themselves together while Jack takes advantage of the circumstance to tease her a lot. Unfortunately, Jack has to travel to Macau for a conference, so he is unable to stay with his wife while she recovers. Before leaving, he forgets to charge his own cell phone and instead takes Mrs. Ng's with him. Soon after he leaves, May asks for permission to leave, explaining that she will return soon but needs to buy additional medication for her asthma. Now that she is alone in the house, Mrs. Ng decides to spend time with her dog while sitting outside to enjoy some fresh air. The pet nearly flees, but a man named Sam catches it and ties it to his doghouse right away. Sam is visiting Jack, who reportedly attended the same school as Sam and who later performed surgery on Sam's wife. Sam merely assists Mrs. Ng in entering before choosing to depart. Mrs. Ng ends up falling asleep on the couch and wakes up in the evening to find a storm outside. It's concerning that May hasn't returned yet, but Sam does, and he rings the bell to say that the weather has prevented him from getting a cab. Mrs. Ng lets him in without raising any red flags, gives him some food and hot tea, and lets him borrow some of Jack's clothes. Feeling like a king, Jack eats a juicy banana and jumps on the bed in the privacy of the couple's room. Sam and Mrs. Ng then spend some time talking while sitting in the living room. Sam talks about how much he loves his wife and how he works at a printing house, but after a while he loses it and starts to rant about how she won't let him touch her because of the ink in his nails. The rain has finally stopped, so he quickly apologizes for what he is doing and leaves. Mrs. Ng feels as though someone is following her around as she attempts to return to her regular schedule. She chooses to ignore it for the time being and take a shower, but her intuition was right. Sam is in the house and joining her in the shower. In some sort of psychotic game that gives him creepy control, he keeps it quiet and lets his hands roam around Mrs. Ng without touching. Mrs. Ng becomes alarmed when he persists in spitting water at her. Sam flees, but when Mrs. Ng cautiously descends the stairs to investigate, Sam appears, pretending to have returned from the streets, and begins acting as if he fights the intruder, ejecting him from the house. Sam then gives Mrs. Ng a glass of milk containing some sleeping pills to help her relax before he leaves the house, all the while maintaining the illusion that he is still on the lookout for the intruder. Mrs. Ng locks the door after he leaves and tries to use the phone on the nightstand, but the wires are severed. The medication takes effect at that point, and she nods off. Sam is eating at the foot of Mrs. Ng's bed when she wakes up the following morning. After dragging her downstairs, he has breakfast ready, but Mrs. Ng refuses to eat until he has seen the police. Sam takes the phone and pretends to call the police to amuse her, but Mrs. Ng knows it isn't working because she tried it last night and finally understands Sam has been the villain all along. Sam is aware that Jack has been planning this trip for a year and has abducted May, who he has in the trunk of his car, causing Mrs. Ng to panic and attempt to leave the house, only to discover that all the exits are locked. After being bitten by a rat, Sam lashes out. Next, while Mrs. Ng cleans up the mess he just made, Sam decides he will smoke Jack's pricey cigarettes. Sam approaches her as she is moving around to make fun of her and ask her inappropriate questions about her innermost feelings, including whether she has ever desired a man besides Jack. When he pushes her down to try to get her attention, Mrs. Ng defends herself by grabbing a fire poker, but Sam quickly takes it away and bites her neck in retaliation. A few hours later, Sam prepares lunch and forces Mrs. Ng to eat even though she isn't hungry. When Sam confesses that he cooked her dog, Mrs. Ng quickly starts feeling unwell. Mrs. Ng is forced to continue eating while sobbing uncontrollably because Sam won't let her leave if she doesn't finish everything. Mrs. Ng then goes to the toilet and throws up everything she has eaten while Sam is watching some family tapes. She then tries to scream for assistance, but no one can hear her, so she breaks down and starts destroying the items in the bathroom. Once she has calmed down, she returns to her room, where Sam approaches her casually and begins discussing his wife once more. He explains that he discovered later in their life together that she didn't want him to touch her because she had another man, not because of the ink in his fingernails. After that, Sam forces her to massage and also feed him while watching TV, giving Mrs. Ng enough time to come up with a plan. She then starts acting like she's having an asthma attack and mentions May's name. Sam never allowed May to get to the store, so when he takes the medication from May's bag, he discovers it is empty. Sam agrees to go buy more medication because he doesn't want his victim to pass away just yet, but only after locking Mrs. Ng in a closet. Fortunately, Mrs. Ng acts quickly and allows a portion of her dress to wedge itself into the door, enabling her to open it once Sam has left. She first finds her keys, but Sam has all of them broken. She then discovers that Jack dropped his cell phone on the couch, but the battery is dead. When Mrs. Ng remembers the charger in her room, she stops crying and starts to climb the stairs while holding the battery. Sam returns at that precise moment, and Mrs. Ng trips and falls due to the panic. She has no time to get to the room now, so she quickly hides the battery deep between her legs so Sam won't know about her plan. Sam doesn't suspect anything when he finds her and takes her to her room to take her medication and rest. This gives Mrs. Ng the opportunity to put the battery on the charger as soon as he leaves. Sam shows up in the room later that night to scold Mrs. Ng after he finds out the medication is May's. As a form of discipline, Sam admits that his wife had cheated on him with Jack, her physician. Sam kept quiet about the affair for 2 years because he wanted his wife to recover, but she ultimately passed away from a heart attack, proving that Jack had done his job improperly. Sam wants to exact revenge on Mrs. Ng by treating her the same way Jack treated his wife. Before Jack goes outside to smoke, Sam assures Mrs. Ng that she will know the truth when he returns, even though she doesn't believe it. A short while later, a thief breaks into Mrs. Ng's room. Because he believes she is lying to scare him away, the thief disregards her warnings about Sam and easily overpowers her, tying her to the bed despite her attempts to defend herself with an umbrella. After stealing a few items from around the house, the thief returns to the room with the intention of having intimate interactions with Mrs. Ng. She bites him in self-defense, which makes the thief back off and bump into Sam, who starts beating him up right away. Sam even resorts to burning the thief with a cigarette and painfully squeezing his private parts. Sam then places a banana in the thief's mouth to silence him, allowing him to further damage the space between his legs with a pair of scissors. After the thief passes out, someone rings the bell. It's the cop, who has come to pick May up to go to the concert. The cop finds it extremely strange that Sam, posing as Jack, tells him that May is not present. The officer pushes his way inside, asks for a drink, and then goes upstairs to look into it while Sam is in the kitchen. Sam stops him as he opens the main room door and discovers someone sleeping beneath the sheets. He brings him a drink and tells him that Mrs. Ng is sleeping because she isn't feeling well, but in reality, the person beneath the sheets is the unconscious thief. The policeman discovers a wedding photo, but Sam used a picture from his wallet to cover Jack's face with his own. Though her mouth, hands, and feet are bound, Mrs. Ng is only able to move very slowly downstairs after she succeeds in pushing open the doors of the closet where Sam had placed her. Mrs. Ng enters the kitchen, cuts the ropes with a tool, and flees the house through the back door as Sam sends the police officer away. As her vision gradually returns, she notices a dim light on the road and moves towards it to seek assistance. The driver speaks sharply, and Mrs. Ng thinks she's safe when she touches their hand and realizes it's a woman's. In reality, Sam is using May's body and altering his voice, and he clearly brings Mrs. Ng back inside. Meanwhile, the police officer realizes he forgot to leave the photos at the house, and upon looking at them, he discovers the man he saw wasn't Jack. After returning quickly with his gun drawn, the officer silently searches the house and discovers Mrs. Ng in the lavatory. Sam seizes the opportunity to approach him from behind and fatally stab him after he promises to assist her in leaving. Afterward, Sam takes Mrs. Ng to the couch to get intimate with her, dropping the cop's gun nearby. Mrs. Ng pretends to be into it to keep Sam distracted while she tries to reach the gun. However, her plan is derailed when Jack unexpectedly comes home. Jack pushes Sam away from his wife and kicks him several times, clearly believing this to be a cheating situation. He then turns to Mrs. Ng and screams at her for the betrayal. This allows Sam to get the gun back and shoot Jack in the leg before forcing him to admit that he had indeed become preoccupied with his wife before she passed away. Mrs. Ng's vision continues to improve as Sam assaults Jack. It's still hazy, but it enables her to locate a fire poker and strike Sam with it. Sadly, this is insufficient to stop him, and Sam simply takes the poker away from her before striking Jack once more. Mrs. Ng takes advantage of Sam's because he doesn't know she's regaining vision and gathers various items from around the house and creates a plan. While Sam is searching for her, she throws a bunch of thumbtacks on the floor. When he steps on them, Mrs. Ng surprises him from behind and burns her enemy's face with a spray can and lighter. Unfortunately, the spray can quickly stops working, so Mrs. Ng has to rush to the kitchen to get new supplies. After throwing some powder in his eyes, she then strikes Sam with a piece of frozen food. Because he can't see well enough to defend himself with the fire poker, Sam chooses to turn on the burners in an attempt to eject Mrs. Ng. Before he can start a fire, Mrs. Ng jumps on him, stabs him with a pencil, and then runs away. Her sight finally returns permanently when she reaches the living room. She pretends to be blind when she sees Sam approaching her from behind and then counterattacks by smashing a vase on his head. She runs back to the kitchen, grabs several beer cans, and loads them into the microwave before hiding behind a door. Sam tries to follow her, but the microwave blows up and knocks him unconscious as he tries to open the door. Sam is awake and tries to attack Mrs. Ng as she emerges, believing that it is finally safe. Mrs. Ng, with no other option, reaches for the fire poker and uses it to stab Sam. Mrs. Ng then finds her husband pleading for forgiveness in the living room. As she approaches to scream at him, Mrs. Ng learns that Sam had been behind Jack's body, posing as him. This is the final straw for Mrs. Ng, who snaps and starts savagely striking Sam with the fire poker until he dies. After a few weeks, Mrs. Ng is living her life in the city as an independent woman. Mrs. Ng pushes a random man away when he tries to take the cab she stopped from her, reminding him that women should not be treated like weaklings and harassed. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button to my channel to see more videos like this.